The Christmas creche in St. Peter's Square is a tradition that began in 1982 under Pope John Paul II, but this year's nativity is quintessentially Pope Francis. Our Vatican correspondent Juliet Linley joins us again with exclusive access.
24 life-size figures are bringing mercy to St. Peter's Square this Christmas. The Vatican creche was handmade this year, and the terracotta characters are dressed in 18th century costumes. They are, in the words of Pope Francis, a reminder of Christ's message, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a theme the Holy Father constantly highlights, and this year it's front and center.
What the Church wants to put before us, as taken from Jesus, is that we need to prepare ourselves well in this life for that. Something emphasized very much by Pope Francis through acts of charity, through acts of kindness.
The creche comes from nearby Naples, a city with a centuries-long tradition of artisan nativity scenes. It was donated by the Sanctuary of Montevergine, an ancient Benedictine abbey 35 miles east of the city. The 7 corporal works of mercy are depicted this year. They're found in the teachings of Jesus and are a roadmap for Christian life.
We first see, for example, feed the hungry, give drink to those who are thirsty. And what we see in the figures here, we see a woman who is holding a jug of water, and to the side we see a man who is holding a basket of bread.
The artisans created this elderly lady next to a foreign-looking gentleman specifically as a pointed reference to the current refugee crisis and to Pope Francis's repeated calls that we make greater efforts to embrace migrants.
Another favorite act of mercy of Francis is outreach to prisoners.
But this is a metaphor also for the captivity which we find ourselves in any kind of darkness, in any kind of sin. So we're not simply visiting a person because they're in prison physically, but also spiritually, and we want to take them out of that darkness.
These are all visual reminders the faithful must practice mercy, even as we celebrate the birth of Christ. At the Vatican, Juliet Linley, EWTN News Nightly.